All right, Choya, the king of cheese. He's 0-1 in Pro League. A lot of people, myself included, watched his first Pro League match and said, boy, was he nervous. He made a lot of macro mistakes. His build order was not crisp, and I think there was a lot of nerves in that, and I hope that whatever happened that day can kind of be, washed from his mind, and he can just come in with a clean slate here, because his match last week, let's be honest, it was not the Choya that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, it definitely was not. It was his first match back in the scene, and he just was nervous, like you mentioned. He also was up against Sulky, and this time he's going to be up against herO. These are two huge opponents that you have to face in your two big matches back. And if you just look at this guy's stats, 7-6, 5-2 in PvP, definitely his best matchup so far in this season of Pro League. He is a gold Protoss as well.
Now IEM champion, and actually currently top ranked on Ali Gulak's website for international rankings. He's just done so much in so many different tournaments recently. It's hard to ignore this guy's results. And I highly favor him here. See if Choya can actually put up a good fight, though, because it is Protoss versus Protoss. It is a weird two-player map. Let's jump into it.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top right, in the purple for Prime, the Protoss player in his second game in Pro League. It is Choya. And up here in the top left, in the yellow for CJ Entis, another Protoss player, it is herO. So many championships this guy has won, and I'm sure a lot of people going into this won't even give Choya the shadow of the doubt of winning this one. I mean, herO is just such a strong player. Choya did not look his best, to be honest, in his first game. But I really want to see if Choya turns those people's opinions around.
Yeah, wants to turn those frowns upside down. Choya has always been one of the players I've liked the most since the very beginning of Korean StarCraft 2 esports, because he's just been a creative player. His macro was never his weakest point, but he never liked to show macro in his matches. He rather relied more on strategy. But if you ever watch this guy stream, a lot of the time he will actually rely on very macro-oriented builds. Now, he's going to actually get double gas stolen here by herO. This is something that we've seen on this map before. In fact, it was Crater, I can't remember who he was up against, who actually, they both players get double gas stole each other. And in this case, with only Choya getting the double gas steal on him, he's going to immediately pull his probes off, which costs him a lot of mining time. But, all considered, Choya's gas is pretty delayed as a result of this. And I think he's just going to take a gas and home now, right? I mean, he has enough minerals to do so. Or, excuse me, herO is going to take his gas at home.
Yeah, there he does. He drops down both gases, actually. And like you said, Choya is just spending a lot of mining time on this. He's finally going to be able to take down this assimilator, and he does get it, so herO is not able to double steal.
Yes, okay, so I got confused because Choya's name is at the top left, but he's spawned to the top right, and herO is spawned, of course, to the top left, despite his name being at the top right. That is tricky and confusing. But okay, so, and I'm also not used to seeing Choya's name with Prime, so all of these things have added up. Looks like herO's going to keep stealing gas here. What you can do when you do this is actually steal 4 gas and then mine minerals. Then the gas will be destroyed, and you can go back and take the gas. So you just keep stealing your opponent's minerals and gas. It's very little, but it does slowly start to add up.
Yeah, it's something that we could see come into effect a little bit later on in the game, but why not do it if you have that option? Just a little bit extra micro, a little bit extra multitasking while there's not much going on early on in the game.
So Cybernetics Core here pretty delayed, actually, from Choya, because he spent so much of his mining time to kill those assimilators. So not only is he late on gas, but he's late on tech here just a little bit. And I mean, nice little tight wall off setup back at home for herO. I like how he's got that set up. Stalker will actually kill Choya's probe scout. And all Choya sees with this probe scout is that, wow, I'm really far behind in gas.
Yeah, that's got to be painful for Choya to come in there and see exactly what herO's got going on. He doesn't get any information besides the fact that he is behind in gas. herO drops 2 extra gateways. I was expecting this kind of play. We're going to see very aggressive 3-gate pressure onto Choya. You know, herO was able to get that cybernetics core a lot faster out here. He's going to get the units, the stalkers out a lot faster as well.
Yeah.
And he's going to use this to his advantage right now.
And this Zealot here actually takes a lot of hits, but he will finally be able to tank enough for that Stalker. Well, this is a great choice because he knows the cybernetics core of Choya is very delayed. And gases as well, which limits the amount of stalkers he can make, as you mentioned before. And Choya starts to realize that this is happening. He starts now his own 3rd gateway, and he's trying to chrono boost his warp gate research to catch up. Back at home, we actually have a Stargate being made for herO. So I wonder if he's just going to pressure a little bit, then go into Oracle play, or perhaps even Phoenixes.
You know, we could see what Cal did in the first game of round 1, where he threw in that extra Phoenix and just lifted up the sentry, walked up the ramp, and just ended the game there. Yeah,
just 1 sentry. Actually, I'd rather 1 force field could be enough to eliminate the only sentry that we're going to have here for Choya. He's only got 1 in production right now. No other ones on the map as far as I can tell. Counter Stargate goes up for Choya, but he's probably thinking about making Void Rays right now. All right, here we go. This is a ton of Stalkers here. Great force field on the other hand by Choya. He's able to isolate some of herO's Stalkers on the high ground. Good micro by herO on the other hand, starting to pick off this Zealot. Trying to run around here. Once that force field's gone, he can run up the ramp.
Oh my god, herO's micro right now is just so good. He was able to take out that Stalker, and now look at this. He's just on the chase right now. He's trying to get this extra Stalker here with this 3, kiting that Zealot as well. Has 1 Stalker fighting the Mothership core in the main base as well.
That didn't go so well for him in the long run, though. He lost a lot. That was a pretty... that was a pretty good force shield by Choya, first of all, but then, you know, he started off with some really solid micro, but then made a few control mistakes, and now Choya is probably pretty happy with the situation. He's going to kill this forward pylon, and probably just going to drop a Nexus here. It's going to be Phoenix versus Phoenix in the mid-game, though, as both players are starting to chrono boost those Phoenix out, and a little bit of a late Nexus comparatively for herO.
Is that the technical term for it? Phoenix?
Both terms are acceptable. Phoenixes and Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather call them Phoenixes.
Oh my god, he's going to lose this one. That's no good for Choya. That hurts.
That's a big mistake. Unfortunate mistake there.
Well, you know, he just didn't know what his opponent was doing, so he wanted to scout, and it's just very unlucky. The Mothership core will have to use an overcharge to save itself. Oh, well, maybe not. Stalkers barely rescue it.
Yeah, a lot of Stalkers on the ground right now for Choya, so unfortunately for him, he did have them in the right place. Do you see a robotics going down at the same time?
Yeah.
For herO.
That Robo is going to be a good transition point for him. He should be able to pick off the Zealot if he chooses to. Going to get the probe instead. Just wants to use his energy on targeting down his opponent's economy. Just tries to float the higher health Phoenixes in there to get a little bit more scouting information, see if any more tech structures are being added. And right now, I mean, Choya is up in probes. He's got his Nexus a little bit faster, but he doesn't have that Robo, and he doesn't have any Phoenixes. And he has to be concerned that his opponent is continuing to make Phoenixes at home. He doesn't really know.
Yeah, but it seems like for now, herO has kind of just stopped the Phoenix production. He is now trying to get Immortals out, it seems. Also has that Forge on the way, wants to get those upgrades out as soon as possible. That Zealot is going to eventually go down. Nice pick off with just these 3 Phoenixes that he has right now.
Yeah, he's just continuing to be present here. Now finally Choya is going to go over here and try to see what's happening. He's going to see the timing of the Nexus. He's also going to see the first Immortal popping out. And again, more damage being done here. Can he get the Mothership core? Not quite. He's really trying to put on the hurt, though.
Whoa.
Whoa, our observer went crazy there for a second.
Just getting out of control here at Pro League. Another scout in here. He does see that 1 Immortal, and he sees all the buildings that are in here.
Yeah. Both players getting +1, of course, right now. Very late robotics for Choya, which means he's got way less Immortals, and he will just continue to be that way. Probably going to skip the Observer as soon as that's done because, you know, he's just so far behind in Immortals, and he knows that. His Phoenix already identified that. And here comes a Phoenix Scout of herO. He's just all over the place with the scouting. There's like nothing that's unknown to him with the Phoenixes he has active on the map and the hallucinations he sends in. Sees everything, sees the timing, of course, of that Twilight Council as well. And adds his own after he scouts that. So I really like herO's position here.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good about it himself. He even just continues to get more and more pro kills with these Phoenixes, is not being idle at all. Like you said, following up with the Twilight Council of his own, might want to go for Archons later on, or maybe a follow-up Blink. Seems like Charge is on the way right away for Choya.
Yeah, He could try to just hit timing with Charged Zealots, Immortals, and Archons, or at least try to use those to take a third base. I mean, maybe his idea here is to build an army that allows him to take the gold base to catch up. Cannons are being added right now for herO and a Templar Archive. Just playing super safe in every way.
Yeah, gets a charge of his own, so we're not going to see Blink just yet.
Yeah, we may never even see Blink this game. I'm not sure what... not going to be able to get those Phoenix. If he had Blink, could have been able to get that, but... I'm not sure what the composition in-game is going to be like for herO, because he could be the one who tries to take a faster third base. He's adding more gateways right now, and he kills actually that Observer of Choya, so that's really annoying.
Very nice cannon in the mineral line there.
Just looks like both players are opting out of Colossi for a really long time here, which is pretty common. But neither player's either way is trying to take the third base, so...
Yeah, both players adding right now 5 gateways of their own. Seems like similar mindsets right now for both players here. It just seems like herO's just done a little bit better chip damage, and he's actually going to have those 3 Phoenixes when the fight actually happens. So when it does actually go down, like army against army, he could actually lift like 3 Immortals there, which could definitely help him out.
Even if it's for just a second, it will help. He sees all the gateways here, Choya does. And for him, since he just added the same amount, or about the same amount back home, he's not going to be terrified by this. But he does need to respond because he knows he's behind. Charge for these 2 players finishing up around the same time. It looks like +2 is slightly ahead for herO. And he's going to start a third Nexus here. So after his gates are scouted, I like this choice. It's a pretty tough third base location to assault on this map. The rush distance isn't really that far, but you have to come in at a weird angle where it's easy for your opponent to set up a defense either at the bottom of that secondary ramp or even at the Nexus itself.
And look at this. At the same time, Choya taking his own third base. And he is going to scout the base of herO, as you guys do see on the minimap with, I assume, a hallucinated Phoenix over there.
All right, this is the Mothership Core Assassin and the Warp Prism. Can he get the feedback off? It's not going to be easy because the Mothership Core is far away, and he finds himself a little bit awkward here trying to find it. He's actually just going to float that away and hope that he finds it eventually. And here we go. He's going to get it. Boom! Feedback on the Mothership Core, full energy, gets blown to smithereens as a result. That means it's Mothership Core versus no Mothership Core with 2 time warps available. Well, actually, that would be the case before the patch, but now he's going to have 1. A lot of energy regardless. That Immortal's going to get killed for sure here. Feedback goes down, meanwhile, on the Mothership Core of herO. He's got a really nice position here. Choya's Zealot stuck at the back, and so much damage being done with the Immortals. Those Phoenixes you talked about earlier lifting up the Immortals of Choya as well, and there's just way too many reinforcements here, I feel.
Yeah, warping in a bunch more Zealots is herO, and now it looks like with the higher Immortal count, he is going to get this. The Time Warp lasting for so long. That 1 Immortal, wish he would have gotten that one. But as it stands right now, he still has the higher army, not by much, but still is very strong.
Yeah, you know, Choya didn't die here. He's holding on a little bit longer. He's actually even trying to get +3 out right now and is continuing full pro production. herO needs to make something happen pretty soon. He needs to commit one way or another. I think attacking the third base is his best choice. We're going to isolate this army. He sends a few harassing units into the natural at the same time, so he's going to get damage done no matter what. The question is, does he have enough army to end the game? I think he does.
It looks like it. Those last Immortals just going down, and too many Archons, too many Immortals here for herO. And the last of Choya's army is going to go down. GG.
GG. herO, one of our better players in all of Pro League. Definitely the best player that CJ has to offer. Takes a pretty nice win there over Choya, starting things off with a gas steal. And finishing things off with just a nice timing attack, being ahead in every way. The Phoenix has really caught Choya off guard, especially when Choya lost his initial Phoenix, and then once that happened, he couldn't really gain momentum in the air. And I think Choya made all the right choices in this game, but he was just behind most of the time.
Yeah, he definitely looked also a bit more comfortable compared to his first game, so hopefully later on in the season we're going to see better and better games out of him. Of course, going up against a guy like this guy over here, herO, a very, very tough game to win. herO just playing near perfectly.